Iran shocked. B-52 bomber pilot drops bombs and destroys enemy in seconds at a sprawling airbase, thick with the hum of engines and the clatter of steel. The day begins long before sunrise. Ground crews, clad in grease-stained uniforms and mission patches, move with purpose. Heavy bomb lifts growl across the tarmac as 2,000-pound conventional bombs are carefully maneuvered into position. Every motion is deliberate. Every word barked across the flight line is clear, crisp, and measured. The B-52 Stratofortress waits, an aging titan, scarred but undefeated, built for Cold War annihilation but still unmatched in its ability to rain devastation across continents. Today, the buff, the big ugly fat fellow, is being armed for a critical training mission. A scenario so realistic, it blurs the line between exercise and actual combat. Tight coordination defines the operation. Specialists operate loading jacks and bomb hoists with mechanical precision. Armament crews double-check wiring harnesses, fusing systems, and safety pins. Every bomb undergoes a triple inspection before it's signed off and locked into place. The margin for error, 0. As the clock ticks down to mission launch, the tempo rises. Crew chiefs bark out safety protocols. Hands clear, eyes sharp, maintain distance when lifting. A single misstep could mean disaster. Radios crackle with status updates as the weapons specialists confirm load integrity. Each piece of ordnance is not just a payload, it's a promise, one that will be delivered at 30,000 feet with devastating accuracy. Once the final bomb is secured, the load team steps back. A senior inspector circles the aircraft, scanning every pylon, every bay door, every connection. Only when satisfied does he give the nod. It's go time. The pilots stride across the tarmac, helmets tucked under arms, eyes hidden behind dark visors. They climb into the cockpit of the Stratofortress with the silent ritual of men who have done this 100 times and know that any day could still be their last. The engines spool up with a thunder that rattles the bones. The massive bird lumbers forward, tires screeching against the pavement as it rolls toward the runway. This isn't a fighter jet screaming into the sky. It's a cathedral of steel, rising slow and grim, built to outlast and overwhelm. Wheels up, altitude climbs. Once airborne, the B-52 pushes hard into its training run. The pilots bank the massive aircraft with surprising grace, bringing it to high speed at altitude. Target zones blink onto the radar screens. Simulated enemy defenses light up the horizon. They press on. The bomb bay doors groan open. Inside the belly of the beast, dozens of heavy bombs hang poised like the teeth of a steel leviathan. Target coordinates flash green, firing solutions align. At the commander's call, the first salvo is released. Seconds stretch like hours. Then, impact. Precision-guided destruction slams into the mock enemy positions below. Hardened bunkers, simulated SAM sites, enemy vehicles, all vaporized in calculated succession. From the air, secondary explosions ripple outwards. Ammunition caches, fuel depots, radar nodes, all rendered smoking ruins in seconds. Iranian military observers, watching these drills from a distance through satellite feeds and intercepted comms, are stunned. The message could not be clearer. Even after 70 years of service, the B-52 Stratofortress remains a nightmare for any enemy bold enough to challenge American air power. It isn't just the payload, it's the discipline, the chain of preparation, the ruthless efficiency. Because while the bombs fall in seconds, the operation that made it possible takes hours, days, even weeks of practice, coordination, and brutal attention to detail. From the ground crew tightening a final bolt, to the pilots executing low-level ingress routes at near supersonic speeds, the entire machine, human and mechanical, works as one. Today's exercise was about more than hitting a target. It was about proving that even in a world of hypersonic missiles and cyber warfare, brute force, delivered precisely, relentlessly, and without hesitation, still matters. The B-52's role in modern warfare is evolving. Equipped with advanced avionics, new radar systems, and capable of deploying next-generation standoff weapons, The Stratofortress isn't just a relic of Cold War theory. It's a future-proof platform, ready to carry cruise missiles, hypersonic glide vehicles, and smart munitions that can devastate fortified positions without ever breaching enemy air defenses. And when it comes to sending a message, few instruments are more eloquent. The sight of the B-52 cruising overhead, weapons bay empty, smoke trailing from the battlefield below, it leaves an impression that no diplomatic cable or sanctions list ever could. As the last bombs strike their targets, the Stratofortress banks again, engines howling against the thin air. Mission accomplished. Back at the airbase, ground crews are already prepping the next loadout. Maintenance teams swarm the aircraft, inspecting for damage, logging flight hours, resetting systems. Because in this line of work, one success only leads to the next mission, and every mission demands perfection. As the dust settles on the desert floor, and satellite feeds beam the imagery of annihilated targets across command centers around the world, the strategic calculation changes. For Iran, for any potential adversary watching, one truth burns clear: the B-52 is still here, still ready, and still more than capable of delivering hell from above, faster than they can ever hope to stop it. And when it comes, it won't be a warning, it will be a reckoning. Seconds, that's all it takes. Seconds to erase an enemy, seconds to reshape a battlefield, seconds to remind the world who still owns the sky. Even as the B-52 Stratofortress returns from its mission, the airbase remains a storm of controlled urgency. Decontamination teams inspect the aircraft's fuselage for any stress fractures or heat damage from the high-intensity maneuvers. Electronic warfare specialists download terabytes of mission data from onboard systems, tracking every second of radar emissions, bomb release telemetry, and simulated threat responses encountered during the training run. The intelligence harvested from a single sortie fuels endless cycles of analysis and refinement. Nothing is assumed, everything is verified. Inside briefing rooms lit by glowing screens, aircrew and mission commanders pore over flight data, deconstructing every movement of the B-52 and every impact zone on the range. Each decision is scrutinized. What went right? What could have gone faster? What might have gone catastrophically wrong if even a minor element had failed? It's not enough to succeed once. The next adversary will adapt. The next battlefield will be more hostile, less forgiving, and the B-52 must be ready for it. Across the tarmac, newer generations of airmen watch the veteran crews work. They see firsthand why mastery of the fundamentals, loading, wiring, navigation, timing, remains sacred. No hypersonic drone or AI targeting software will replace the hard-earned instinct that tells a B-52 pilot when to drop altitude by 100 feet, when to pull high, or when to trust nothing but the bomb sight and gut feel. Because when it matters, it's still a human in the loop, carrying the weight of the mission on their shoulders at 500 miles per hour. Inside command circles, the success of this exercise triggers new conversations. Top brass and defense planners see it as validation of recent modernization efforts, upgraded avionics, new weapon integration, the pending addition of the long-range standoff LRSO missile capability. These advances ensure the B-52 isn't just surviving, it's evolving into a force multiplier for 21st-century conflict zones. One senior Air Force official, speaking under condition of anonymity, remarked, "The B-52's future isn't about nostalgia, it's about strategic flexibility. No other platform can carry this volume of ordnance, refuel mid-air, stay loitering for hours, and strike dozens of separated targets with one mission cycle." The stakes are rising worldwide. The Middle East remains volatile, with proxy militias and rogue regimes growing bolder under the shield of plausible deniability. In the Pacific, China's expansionism is testing the limits of American resolve. In Europe, Russian hybrid warfare strategies demand immediate response capabilities across thousands of miles. In every scenario, the B-52 looms large. It can carry smart bombs into hardened military complexes. It can launch standoff cruise missiles beyond the reach of enemy SAM systems. It can project power from over the horizon, without ever needing to step into hostile airspace. And for nations contemplating moves against American interests, that reality is chilling. Because the B-52 doesn't need to be sleek or stealthy to be lethal, it only needs to be unstoppable. The enemy may never even see it coming. Only the aftermath, flattened runways, destroyed missile fields, command bunkers reduced to rubble, and the psychological impact, the knowledge that nowhere, no matter how fortified, is truly safe. Meanwhile, at the airbase, preparations continue. Fuel trucks roar across the concrete. New munitions pallets are staged for upcoming exercises. Pilots cycle through mission simulators that replicate not just technical challenges, but the cognitive load of flying a combat-loaded bomber through layered electronic jamming and hostile air defenses. The Stratofortress, despite its age, demands the best from its crews, and gives them a weapon unmatched in versatility and reach. No other machine symbolizes persistent American air power quite like it. And if war should ever come, whether over the Strait of Hormuz, the South China Sea, or the Baltic skyline, one truth will remain. The first thunder they hear won't be an alarm. It will be the roar of a B-52 unleashing fury from 30,000 feet, relentless, precise, and absolutely unforgiving.